CBS Evening News anchor Jeff Glor is outside Stoneman Douglas High. Jeff, good morning.
Norah, good morning once again to you. The school behind me remains a crime scene this morning. It will remain closed the rest of this week as investigators search for clues. Students who went to school with Nick Cruz say there were warning signs. And earlier today, I spoke to an attorney, had a revealing interview with an attorney for the family that recently took Cruz in. I started by asking how he came to live with them.
His mother died in the first part of November of last year, and he really had no place to go. He knew my client's son. They met at Douglas High School. They had known each other for a while, and they just naturally took him into their home to help him.
Tell me about Nick Cruz.
I don't know a lot about him. This family knew him pretty well. He's a kid who was a little depressed because his mom had died, had some minor problems at school, but they were helping him. They had got him a job at a dollar store where he was working. He was going to school to try to get his GED, and they didn't see anything like this coming.
Is he cooperating with police?
Yes, we met with them last night, gave them full statements, showed them cell phones. The police have told us that the family and the son not targets of the investigation, not suspects. They didn't know anything about this prior to. They're just as grief-stricken as everybody else. The young man was at this school yesterday when the shooting occurred, and he's lost some friends here, so they just don't know what to say. Right now they're in shock, and they just don't want to talk to anybody.
Have you spoken to Nick?
No.
You have not?
No.
Have you heard from the family about whether they've been in touch with him?
They have not. He's been completely secluded from the point in time he was arrested last night. He was at the sheriff's office the same time we were last night being questioned, and all indications were he's cooperating with law enforcement as well.
Did the parents experience difficulties ever since Nick started to stay with them?
They did not. They didn't see anything. They said he was very respectful, quiet, a little depressed, as you would expect someone losing their mother under those circumstances. But never did they see anything violent, no aggression towards the school or anybody else. They are totally shocked by this.
And I don't know how the process normally works, but so then how is it that he came to stay with them? They just offered? They
offered because he was friends with their son. They had met at the school, and the son knew that the kid really didn't have any other place to go. And they gave him had a room in their house that they gave him. And, like they say, no good deed goes unpunished. But they are just as shocked as everybody else, as grief-stricken. They feel bad for Nick, but they feel more bad for everybody else that's going through this.
Where was he keeping, he had at least one rifle from what police say.
And it was his.
This?
He brought it into the house, and they had strict rules in terms of it being locked in a gun safe, which is our understanding where the gun was locked. We don't know how it got out.
But they allowed him to have this rifle inside the house.
He's 19 years old. He's not a kid. And he brought many of his possessions into the home. And again, they didn't see anything like this coming.
And they lived where?
In a rural part of Northwest, not too far, about a couple miles here from the school.
And what was, as far as you know, what was Nick up to at this time?
Well, he was supposed to have gone to his adult education school that morning, but when he was woken up to go, he said something to the effect of, "It's Valentine's Day, I don't go to school on Valentine's Day." And they didn't think anything of it and just left him, and they went on their business. The other young man went to school, and everybody else went to work, and they lost track of him at that point. He was in touch with the son by text, but there's nothing in those texts. We've turned him over to the police to indicate that he was up to anything devious like this.
Had the family seen some of the photos that he had posted on Instagram?
No, they're just hearing about it and seeing this on the media for the first time, and they're pretty shocked by it as well.
Jim Lewis, thanks for your time.
No problem.